Third day ADE 2017 with a Kaiserdisco. Guys, you're looking fresh. How you feeling? What's going on?
Yeah, we feel fresh. So it was a good night yesterday. We went to two parties, played before a little bit, but it was not too hard, so we had a good start.
I'm wondering what was it that made you decide, just from being collaborators, to think, right, we're going to create Kaiserdisco. This is a meeting that needs to go forward.
So of course we didn't know that when we met, but so that was 2008.
Mm-hmm.
We met in Hamburg in a club, and we knew each other already before, but not personally. So just about the projects that we had before with the other guys. Yeah, we said let's try to do a collaboration. We went into the studio the next day, and
Well, it's the blue eyes. I mean, who wouldn't?
No, there was such a good vibe in the studio that we finished the first production and just said that we have to go on. And yeah, that was the beginning of Kaiserdisco. So we quit everything else, and since then we are only doing Kaiserdisco.
That must be a special moment, because just to collaborate with someone, it must be special a lot of time to make something great, but to go committed to make a new name and a new project.
Yeah.
Who was the one that said, I want you?
Probably me, because I was, we worked as a duo before, so we was already used to work together. But for me, it was the first time that it felt very professional and very, very common. So it was a perfect mixture for me. So I said right away, what you're doing today, tomorrow, probably I would like to come back. So let's get started to produce some more tracks. Yeah, yeah. And from that point, we worked the whole 9 years in the studio together. Right? Yeah.
Nice. Well, at least you got past the 7-year itch.
Yeah.
So, and so, is it true that you don't disagree and you don't argue? How can that be a thing when you're working 24/7, working on productions?
Yeah, usually in the studio it works quite well, even if we see each other for 5 or 7 days a week. But there's a secret behind the good combination between us. So we have a kind of a break in the summertime, and this is for about 2 months usually. So we are not in the studio then. I go to Mallorca, I'm living there during the summertime, and after the summertime we go back. We have good new ideas, and I think for the relationship that's very good as well.
Yeah, it felt like a marriage, of course, but it's on a professional basis, of course. But we are good friends, and of course sometimes we argue a little bit. And
So you do.
Yeah.
Just so you gotta be honest. You're like, we never argue. He's like, sometimes he's really annoying.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah.
Because I can imagine last night was really annoying when he lost your new album on the USB, and
No. That's not something I would argue. I would only worry about it, and yeah, of course I would help him, but it's nothing I would argue about.
Oh, you guys. You're not in trouble.
The funny thing is that I knew I will get it back. So in the morning, I was a little bit, I worried a little bit yesterday, but I did have the feeling that I will go to the bar and someone found it and gave it to someone there. And
You were
it
right.
happened. Yes.
Only in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Drum Code, Adam Bayer. Your connection with him, he approached you guys, right?
Yeah.
With an email saying, I like what you're doing, come to us. Because a lot of DJs, producers send out endless promos and don't get anything back, but for it to happen the other way around, how is that for you?
We sent demos, but he never answered, and so we went on and released I think it was that time where we released on Terminal M, Monica Cruz's label. And so then suddenly we get an email from Adam and said, I really love the EP, and please send me some stuff. And we was laughing so loud and said, okay, this is something we sent you before, and you never picked up and answered. This is something we sent you before, and you never picked up and answered. It's very funny, but we started right away and started our first production for him. Yeah. And from that point, it worked very well.
But I guess it's not because he didn't like your stuff. He probably just didn't end up listening to it, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
But how is it working with Adam, him being your like, not mentor, but to have the support of someone like so?
Of course, it's good and have such a big support of a DJ like Adam. He's a very, very big and famous DJ, as well as Drum Code, one of the biggest techno labels in the world. And what should we say? Of course, it's great to have someone on board and someone who loves your music and likes to play it and everything and to sign your tracks. That's it for me.
But like when you had started producing it, was that kind of like a goal that you were thinking, oh, that would be ace to, release on Drum Code? And did you ever think
we do it a little bit like that? Of course, if you want to produce a track or a whole release or EP, and of course you have to think about where you on which label you want to have it. Because if you're doing something for Drum Code, then it begins already with the bass drum. It has to sound like really techno and everything. So every single part of the track.
When you start.
Yeah, well, because when
not every time.
When we only produce some tracks without having in mind where it should fit on which label, then you do suddenly maybe a tech house track, and then you do a deep house, and then and nothing fits together. So you already have to have in mind which you want to do and which goal you want to reach.
You can't just go in there like blasé and see like what happens.
Yeah.
It's a business at the end of the day, so you've got to have a
Yeah, of course.
And so it is ADE. It is 4 or 5 days in Amsterdam. Things are going to go crazy. For you guys, there's a lot of like secret pop-ups, parties. What would you say is the one thing that tickles your fancy that you have to go to?
Wow. For me personally, the backstage at the Drum Code party is the most social place to be, because everybody is there. Everybody out from the scene is there, so it's the best place to be at the backstage from the Drum Code party.
When you're playing, or just to hang out?
No, just to hang out and just to meet all your friends. That's very important for us, of course, to see all of them.
We do every year.
hang out at the backstage of Drum Code.
So we just go in and just have a quick look how everything is going outside, but then we go to the backstage area and everybody's there. Yeah. And sometimes we go to the DJ booth, not a booth, it's a stage, and check who's playing and what he's doing right now. But maybe for 10 minutes or 20 minutes during the whole night, and the rest we are at the backstage.
Having a laugh.
For us, it's the most important place at ADE. Of course, we was also at the Afterlife party before, which was also very nice. The Loveland guys are doing an amazing job. And we wanted to see Stefan Botzen play, and it was really, really good. Stefan is such a great.
It's a bit better there for the backstage people, because you're standing on the stage as well. You can see something.
You can see what's going on.
And the stage where the people are standing at the Awakenings or Drum Code is a bit too low, so you only see the DJ and not the crowd. If you're standing there.
Yeah, you want to see what's going on, what the people are doing.
Course,
And so one last question. So when you've made a track and you've released it and you play it yourself and you see the reaction from the crowd, that's one thing. But what's it like when you just accidentally hear a set of another DJ playing your track and it goes wild and you're like, yeah, you've got respect for someone else and that kind of level?
Of course, it's amazing, and it happened yesterday because Monica Kruse was playing one of the tracks from our upcoming album.
And you were just there. And
we was just in time.
And you just hear, do you know it like it's before it even really comes in? You're like,
We was hearing the clap and then that's our one. Yeah,
this little hi-hat or something. You recognize that, of course.
Even if it's only a beat, you recognize it.
And it's great because you two, like, you've got someone to buzz off against it because you like both made it together. So you're like, look at that.
Yeah, that's it. It still gives us goosebumps.
But then you have to look at the crowd thinking, oh, I hope they're going to enjoy this.
Of course, what they did.
What did they do?
They hands were going up. It's a track with a long break in the middle, and it's a really hands-up track, so it worked perfectly. So.
Basically, your ADE so far has been, heard your track played, hands in the air, album's coming out in a couple of days, you got your USB back. It's not even 5 p.m. The bar's about to open. Distract TV, they've been fabulous. Over and out. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hi, this is Kaiserdisco and you're watching
Distract TV.